Hello.
Hello little dreamers and grown-ups too. This is your cozy corner of calm, a soft little bedtime campfire to gather round every night. Tonight's stories are for anyone who's had a big day. Tonight on Benny and the Bedtime Clouds, a river of starlight sings gentle melodies. A hidden hollow gathers silence like leaves. A valley of glowing bubbles drifts on sighs. An orchard stores sunlight glowing with memories. And a crater in space where music flows in light. These stories were originally created for a little boy named Arthur, the storyteller's son, as part of a quiet, magical bedtime ritual. Now they're shared with families everywhere who want a moment of calm and wonder before sleep. Every story is told by a real person, not AI, because bedtime should feel human and personal and full of heart. If you enjoy these gentle stories, please consider tapping like and subscribe. It helps this little channel grow, and we'll be right here every night. And to the amazing Little Dreamer Club, our subscribers, thank you. We're so glad to see you back again. Ready? Great. But before we start, let's do our sleepy breaths. Smell the strawberries. Blow the dandelions. There, that's better. Now we're ready for the stories. Benny and the River of Starlight and the Pebble Chimes. On a warm summer night, Benny, the kind-hearted bear, drifted lazily on Ron, his soft cloud companion. Pip, his tiny fairy mouse friend, fluttered beside him, her whiskers twitching with wonder. A delicate tinkling sound floated through the air like a lullaby, drawing them downward toward the edge of a river that shimmered with flowing starlight. Ron came to rest on the mossy bank, and Benny gazed in awe. The river did not carry water. It carried light, thick and glowing. The current moved like melted moonbeams, gliding beneath a sky of deep indigo, where stars blinked sleepily above. Willowy trees leaned over the banks, their swaying branches strung with smooth, luminous pebbles. These were the Pebble Chimes, and as the starlight brushed beneath them, the pebbles rang out in gentle tones, a melody soft as breath. Benny and Pip curled up on the cool moss. The chimes sang a slow, drifting lullaby, their tones weaving through the air like threads of calm. The world hushed, the day melted, and the music asked for nothing but stillness. Benny felt the warmth of the night settle into his fur. Pip nestled close, her tiny heart sinking with the quiet rhythm of the chimes. Above them, the river flowed on, a silver song of sleep, and the Pebble Chimes played on, steady and soft, like the universe humming them to rest. The end. Benny and the Whispering Hollow and the Keeper of Quiet. Benny and Pip were drifting gently on Ron, their soft cloud friend, when Benny asked, what would it be like to be as small as a beetle? Ron gave a gentle rumble and began to shrink. He cradled them in his cottony fluff as they floated down toward a mossy, fallen log. They slipped through a crack in the bark and found themselves in the whispering hollow, a hidden world beneath the world. The air was rich with the scent of damp wood and cool moss, and the only light came from clusters of glowing mushrooms known as hush caps. Their soft pulses flickered like sleeping breaths. In the heart of the hollow stood a gentle squirrel named Charlie, brushing the air with a single soft owl feather. "Welcome," he whispered. "I am the keeper of quiet. The hush caps glow their warmest light when the hollow is perfectly still." He showed them how he swept away stray sounds, gathering silence the way others might gather leaves. Benny and Pip sat beside him enchanted, listening to the hush that filled every corner. As the stillness deepened, the hush caps began to glow brighter, pulsing in a slow, dreamy rhythm. The hollow was bathed in gentle light, golden and green, like the hush before a summer storm. It shimmered around them like slow-moving fireflies. When it was time to leave, Benny and Pip climbed onto Ron once more, who had waited quietly at the edge. As they floated out through the log and returned to their normal size, the hush of the hollow stayed with them, a soft weight in their hearts. Curled up together, the quiet still humming through their fur, they let the hush carry them towards sleep. The end. Benny and the Valley of Drifting Yawns. Ron carried Benny and Pip into a deep, misty valley nestled between mountains as soft as clouds. The air was still, and a gentle hush settled over everything as they drifted deeper into the Valley of Drifting Yawns. Here, something magical floated through the sky, shimmering, sleepy bubbles that moved like jellyfish in the air. These were yawns, gently released from the dreaming world below. Each one glowed with a soft golden light, warm and welcoming. Pip reached out and touched one. Instead of bursting, the yawn bubble melted into a wave of pure contentment, washing over them like a warm summer breeze. Benny felt his eyelids grow heavy, his thoughts beginning to slow. They glided further into the valley, surrounded by dozens of yawn bubbles. Each one they passed released a gentle tide of drowsiness, wrapping them in layers of quiet, sleepy comfort, like being tucked into a quilt woven from dreams. The valley stretched on, timeless and still, as if the world had paused to listen to the hush of sleep. Eventually, Benny and Pip curled up on Ron's soft back, surrendering to the pull of the yawn tide. The bubbles floated above them like tiny lanterns, and the hush of the valley cradled them into the deepest, coziest slumber. The end. Benny and the Orchard of Stored Sunlight. Ron floated Benny and Pip to a quiet orchard beneath a star-scattered sky, a place that felt both familiar and enchanted. The trees here bore no fruit, only soft, glowing orbs that shimmered like little suns caught in the branches. This was the orchard of stored sunlight, where the warmth of perfect summer afternoons was saved like a secret. Benny reached out and touched one of the glowing globes. A wave of calm swept through him, like dozing on sun-warmed grass. Nothing urgent, nothing loud, just peace. Pip, ever curious, brushed her tiny paw against another. Joy bloomed in her chest, the bright, simple happiness of tasting a just picked strawberry. The orbs held no pictures or stories, just feelings. Each one was a gentle memory made into light. The scent of blossoms filled the air, and the soft glow cast a golden hush over everything, like dusk that never quite faded. Under the largest, slowest glowing tree, Benny and Pip found a nest of deep, cool moss. The orbs around them glowed quietly, not too bright, not too dim. A perfect summer night light made from summer's best moments. They curled up together, bathed in the gentle memory of 100 happy days, and let the orchard lull them into a contented, golden sleep. The end. Benny and the Crater of Quiet and the Echo Flute. One evening, Ron carried Benny and Pip beyond the clouds, past the shimmer of stars and into the stillness of space. They drifted toward a small, forgotten moon and gently descended into a wide, perfectly smooth crater carved from dark, crystalline stone. This was the Crater of Quiet. At its center sat a lone, glowing figure, the Star Keeper, playing a flute carved from a fallen star. The Echo Flute. The walls of the crater drank in all sound, creating a silence so complete it felt like a deep breath held by the universe. As the Starkeeper played, the notes travelled outward, not with sound, but with light. A low, mellow tone sent a wave of soft blue rippling across the rock. A high, delicate note burst into golden sparkles, raining gently from the edges of the crater. Each note became a feeling, painted in light. Benny and Pip lay on Ron. No words, no noise, just sensation. A lullaby made of hush and glow. The Starkeeper played one final silvery note, long and low. It swept across the crater in a wave of gentle silver, flowing over them like the softest blanket. It was the echo of perfect peace. Benny and Pip closed their eyes as Ron held them close, and the crater cradled them in starlit stillness. The music, now a memory glowing inside their dreams. The end. Good night, little dreamers.